Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your October 2020 general reading. So the Lenormand you got is the fishes. So the fishes is basically about prosperity and abundance. Tends to be financial. I don't really know. We'll have to see with the rest of the reading where this fishes energy is coming from. I hope it goes where it's most required, Sagittarius. So if you need it most in your heart, then this brings love. If it is around your finances, or it brings prosperity there. It's Libra season. So I'm just thinking in the natural zodiac, Libra would be in your, is it your 11th house or your 12th house? Your 12th house. So that's a Pisces realm. It's very funny because Scorpio got this as well, this Neptune card, because this is a Neptune card. It's the fishes. It's obviously the 12th house is the house of the divine. It contains all the houses into one. Hardest house to navigate, but definitely the most rewarding, because our true wealth in the 12th house is financial, relational, spiritual, physical health. So that's what, and isn't it funny, because when I started your reading, it was like, let it go where it's most required. So whatever this fishes is, Sagittarius, I really hope it gets to you. So I'm going to shuffle the card. Sorry if I feel a bit vague. I having very weird energy stuff. So I'm going to throw the normal cards. Not sure if there'll be mid-month readings. YouTube don't share my videos, Sagittarius, and I'm just not getting a lot of views, and it's not building at all. So I will continue to do the monthlies, but I'll have to see how it goes around the mid-monthlies. But thank you for all the support that you do give me. So what's going on for the sign of Sagittarius? I'm going to do one more shuffle because I've already done quite a few readings today. Scorpio got the fishes as well, by the way, if any of you have Scorpio, Moon, Ascendant, Venus, anything. So the Knight of Swords behind you, which is a bit, two cards of communication. So, and I'm thinking back to your October reading, and wasn't there September? Wasn't there issues around communication? This is very, very, very fast and clear communication with both these guys, the Knight and the Page. So the Knight takes our life from one place to another. It's in a horse. Horses in medieval times moved us forward. And this Page of Swords carries the Ace, so some sort of clarity is coming through. Some sort of news, some sort of clarity. Fantastic. Wonderful. So what you want is a Judgment card, opposite side of the Death card. This is the rebirth, this is the regeneration, and coming out of, there's three figures here. They're coming out of tombs. So it's almost like, oh my gosh, wherever you are in the world, this will be, it's just a card of re-emerging. It can be a relationship card, a Judgment card, by the way, and brings something from the past back again, or something that you thought was gone, re-emerging in your field. The gift is the Eight of Swords. The challenge is the Three of Wands. So why on earth can the gift be the Eight of Swords for these cards behind you? Because this is very straightforward communication. The gift is the Eight of Swords. So still dealing with delays. That's very weird. Because you're not and then you are again. I'm sorry, Sagittarius, I promise you I'm not laughing. It's been like this just consistently. Ah, yeah, here's your guy. That's the reason why. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, that's what the Eight of Swords is about. money and work, 2 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands at a soul level, and 4 of Swords. This is weird. Not weird, but it's okay. I'm going into my astrology, and you get 2 4s as the outcome, and then the Wheel of Fortune, which is a 10, which is a completion process. That's maybe what the fishies are about. Do you know what? It's almost like full steam ahead, then brakes on. That's exactly the picture I've got. The 8 of Swords is dealing with a little bit of frustration here. I'm going to tell you the straightforward truth. That's what it is. Yeah, totally. But it's for your benefit. And I know no one watching probably wants me to say that, but it is. I've got a very, very familiar and deep relationship with the 8 of Swords card. Yeah. It's shown up in this position for me when I was about to make potentially one of the worst mistakes ever. It was a relationship issue that I nearly got into, and the 8 of Swords as the gift gave me time to reflect on this decision before I did, and you've got no idea how glad I am. That was just, that's how the 8 of Swords is the gift. Really, really, really is a gift. Because, anyhow, let me carry on. Then you get the Wheel. So these are all about communication, full steam ahead. Be careful of any blunt communication with the Knight of Swords. In my other decks, he's got the head of a dove, and he's got flowers in the other hand, but he's cut off the head of the dove and he's cut off the head of the flowers. So his communication can be a little bit, ooh, that stung. Yeah? And I don't know where that came from. I have not said that for ages to anyone, but maybe it had to come through with the 8 of Swords as the gift. Because the communication's coming, but it might be quite cut off communication. This Knight of Pentacles in your relationship is really slow moving knight. Very guarded. Look, can you see one bit of body in there? Everything apart. He's got his heart guarded, his head, every part of him is guarded. So the reason why he's so slow moving is because he's so protected. And the reason why a person protects himself is through vulnerability. That's it. It's a defense mechanism that the psyche has in place to keep themselves safe. And the only way a person takes her defenses down is if they begin to feel safe enough to do it. So the 8 of Swords and the gift might be about the gift of restraint, the gift of holding back, the gift of allowing the knight to take off his defences in his own time. Because the irony of the Knight of Pentacles is, even though, oh my gosh, so can be a bit frustrating, the Knight of Pentacles is sort of the knight that everyone wants. Because once he takes down his defences, he's in it for real. He's not a player. Because behind that vulnerability is the sweetest heart that maybe just doesn't want to be walked over again. That could be you, it could be someone you're dealing with. So the 8 of Swords is the gift, is maybe just saying, allow this knight their own time, because when the sun shines on them, the defences start to come down. It depends who you're dealing with and what the person is, which obviously I don't know. If there's difficulties, my new website's underneath. I've done a video blog under my blog on releasing energetic ties. It doesn't disconnect you from the person, but it might disconnect you from any challenging parts of the connection. So the challenging part of this connection, this is a relationship, might be dealing with someone who is just very, very slow and very boundaried. Okay? And I don't know where I'd make the... Where would I make the cut? Probably the heart. Because the heart is a part of us that can become impatient when it feels things aren't going at the speed that it wants. Anyhow, I'll leave it with you. It's not perfect, Sagittarius. I'm just creating and playing at the moment, but it's been really, really helping me in my dynamics. Because the Judgment is wanting this rebirth. It's this beautiful colour to feel alive again. And the Eight of Swords is the gift. Just might be a message just to allow this boat to get here when it's going to get here. And you take a step back. If Sagittarius was to take a step back, what would you have them do, please? Eight of Wands. That's a very Sagittarius card, isn't it? Envision. Your archer. What are you aiming for? We're moving into really, really interesting times, Sagittarius, especially December. December is a life-transforming month for humanity. And the next couple of months are really, really important on decide. And I'm really, really not talking politics here, by the way, so please don't even try and connect me into it. That's not my job. But we really need to decide what side we're on, in the sense, are we on the side of the future? Or are we going to be clinging to the past? That's what I mean, okay? So there's a lot of real good work to do about where you want the archer's bow to be going. Yeah? And there's no right or wrong, by the way. All our souls are exactly where they're meant to be. But there'll come a point, we're going towards a massive evolution, essentially. So focus on your own intentions, your own desires. Especially over the next 2 months, it's a really, really important time. Because I think the Eight of Swords is dealing with the Knight of Pentacles, by the way. Relationship foundations, where you feel that you're waiting. It's not a punishment for the Eight of Swords, I swear. I've been a tarot card reader for such a long time, but see when that Eight of Swords turns up in that position, something really important is happening. And you're being so deeply, deeply, deeply protected from something. And even though we can't see it, we are. Now, I'm not saying you're being protected from some sort of bogey man or anything like that, but it generally happens when your soul's in some sort of process, and to interrupt that process would be to, it's like there's a gateway and the universe wants you through that gateway before those Eight of Swords begin to come down. Do you understand where I'm coming from? And I see it quite a lot with, it's almost like, you know, I love just like everyone else. See, sometimes when I see people working through a really important, and they're just about to make a major breakthrough, I'm like, oh my God, please try and put it off for a month or two. Please just try and put it off till you're in this opposite side. And it's almost like when those Eight of Swords are meant to come down, they'll come down. And when they don't, do not force them, because that is what our suffering is. Very interesting reading here, Sagittarius, by the way. Two of Pentacles in your money and work. It can be a bit juggling. It can be a card of investing. Yeah, I get it a lot. Investing in, because that pentacle goes over his head and it lands on a piece of land, and eventually that seed becomes a tree. So it might be a bit juggling. It might be having to let go of one of these pentacles. Try and do as much investing in yourself, Sagittarius, as you can. That's what empowerment is, okay? That's what becoming your soul or identity is. Invest in your own self. If you have anything to give to people in need, then you do it. But if not, we're at where we're at. We've got the fishies. There might be a little call to make an investment. The Nine of Wands at a soul level is, again, is a card of boundaries here. I don't know if it's you or it's someone you're dealing with. If you're dealing with if you're dealing with these cards coming from someone else, then the best way to handle the Nine of Wands is just to go, I'm going to protect my inner space. Yeah, that's it. I'm getting so ready for this new world we're moving into, and I'm going to see that Eight of Swords as the gift, because there's nothing more important than I can tell you than that these delays are not delays. They might appear as delays, but there's something way, way, way deeper than that going on. And we can fall into our shadow or our sort of victim mentality when we think, oh, we can get into a drama about it, or we can say, no, I'm going to work on me. I'm going to work on what I've been building, what I've been working with. Yeah, and that's the end of it. Because you get 2 fours, okay, including the 4 of Cups. So this cup's been offered, but you're just staring at it because of the 4 of Swords. 4s are all about security and stability, okay? So they tend to be quite popular cards, the 4s. The problem with the 4s is you can build your world around it. So I don't know if you've noticed it recently, where a lot of people don't want to leave. They're really, really quite content in the world that they've built. Yeah. That's the sort of 4s. And we can become quite lethargic and quite... Actually, we are going into your solar month, so that might push you forward a little bit more. Oh, no, yeah. Sorry, Sagittarius. There's Libra, Scorpio, Sag. I'm going crazy. So the 11th house is where the fishies is, which is with friendships, dreams, ideals, visions. These 2 4s are a little bit, I'm enjoying my peace and quiet. I'm enjoying my solitude, even to the fact this offer's coming your way, but you're not picking it up because it's like, I'm okay where I'm at. Be careful you don't go too far into it, because when we go too far into it, we become a little bit like the King and Queen of Swords, which I love, but we can become a little bit dissociated. And I'm a little bit concerned that's going to be, that people are going to become more and more and more, I'm shutting the door. And I'm not talking about the love of solitude, I'm talking about just not wanting to deal with people anymore. Because people are hard work. Especially if we're dealing with their kids. You know, they are. So some of us might feel this desire just to be alone. Make sure it's based on healthy perception and not just a perception to say, it can be a little bit dissociated. You get the wheel, turnaround of events. So I guess this will be going into your solar month, by the way, which might be a push of your energy towards more yang, more expression, more dynamic, because it's all about getting the rhythm right. And the people who haven't been doing their shadow work, by the way, especially the next couple of months, are just going to become more and more and more dissociated next year. More cut off. And I really don't want that for you, Sagittarius, because that's not who you are. okay? We want to be able to do it at a healthy level, so we don't use relationships as to avoid ourselves, but just be careful that you don't fall too much into it. Yeah, because you get the Star card here. So the Star card, the positive side of the Star card is this openness, it's transparency, it's connection, being open to grace. The challenging bit of Aquarius is a dissociation, disconnection, okay? And it's funny because I'm an Aquarius and I really feel it at the moment. I'm really feeling, oh my gosh, I need human contact. Because I do a lot of work online. Don't let it happen to you. Be mindful. Great time to do any shadow work, by the way. Anything. So check out the emotional processing for any, now cutting energetic ties. If there's anything you need to release from the past, anything you can do to help make the unconscious conscious. Because what you're dealing with here is someone who's maybe not yet. So a lot of their operations are done through trying to keep themselves safe. And that's what the defenses are about. But once we make that stuff conscious, we don't, I'm not saying we don't have boundaries, but we don't, do you understand where I'm coming from? I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I think they're going to call it, it's going to be a new space fever. Do not get space fever, Sagittarius. I'll come to your house and I'll push you out, because those fours can be a little bit of space fever, especially that Four of Cups. Just like vagueness. But your solar energy might push you forward. Lots of love, Sagittarius, and thank you for everyone who supports me. That's honestly, you're the only, there's nothing to come back for if I don't have you, do you understand? Lots of love, guys. Bye.